Hello friends, in this video we are going to see the 50 Kenyan Shilling standard circulation banknote, which was launched in the years from 2019 to 2024 by the government of the Republic of Kenya. These banknotes were printed by the Central Bank of Kenya, and, from 2024, the banknotes were printed at Giesecke and Devrient, GND, Leipzig, Germany, and, before 2024, the banknotes were printed at De La Rue, which is also known as Thomas De La Rue, or Thomas De La Rue and Company, TDLR, London, United Kingdom. Now let us see the physical structure of the banknote. It is a rectangular-shaped banknote made from paper material. It is printed using the intaglio technique, that is, raised printing technique, which can be felt by soft touch on the note surface. The predominant color of the banknote is red color. The size of the banknote is 123 mm by 62 mm. Now let us discuss the obverse side of the banknote. When the note is observed from the left to right side, we can see that it has a denominational numeral 50 in English on the top left corner and the bottom right corner of the note. Next, it has the year of printing of the note. Next, it shows the emblem, coat of arms, of Republic of Kenya, which features two lions, which is a symbol of protection, holding spears and a traditional East African Maasai shield. The shield and spears symbolize unity and defense of freedom. The shield contains the national colors, representing black for the people of Kenya, red for the bloodshed during the struggle for freedom, green for the agriculture and natural resources, white for unity and peace. On the shield is a rooster holding an axe while moving forward, portraying authority, the will to work, success, and the break of a new dawn. The shield and lion stand on a silhouette of Mount Kenya containing in the foreground examples of Kenya agricultural produce, that are coffee, pyrethrum, sisal, tea, maize and pineapples. The coat of arms is supported by a scroll upon which is written the word Harambee. In Swahili, Harambee means all pulled together, or all for one. Next, it has a watermark, which consists of the perfect image of an African lion head, the text CBK, and the value of the note 50 in electrotype. Next, it has the Central Bank of Kenya monogram with the text CBK, and a flying dove with olive branch, to symbolize a peaceful Kenya. As a see-through registration, which can be seen on both sides of the note. Next, it has a windowed security thread, which is an embedded metallic thread running vertically. The thread is imprinted with the demetallized dove and demetallized letters CBK and the numeral 50 in an alternating pattern, and, when the note is seen in light, the thread is visible from both sides of the note. The security thread appears as a continuous line, and it changes color from red to green when the note is tilted. Next, it has the text Benki Kuu ya Kenya in Swahili language, and, below the text, it has the text Central Bank of Kenya in English language. Next, at the center, it has a central image, which consists of the Kenyatta statue and the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, one of the most iconic and recognizable landmarks, located in Nairobi, Kenya. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of the Republic of Kenya, who is lauded as the father of the nation. He was a Kenyan anti-colonial activist and politician who governed Kenya as its prime minister from 1963 to 1964, and then as its first president from 1964 to his death in 1978. And, in the background, it has a Maasai shield with spears from the national flag of Kenya. And, it also has an image of the skyline of Nairobi city consisting of parks, gardens, buildings and skyscrapers. And, it also has an image of Mount Kenya. It is the highest mountain in Kenya, and the second highest, after Mount Kilimanjaro in neighboring Tanzania, in Africa. Next, it has the lettering legal tender for 50 shillings in English. Next, below the lettering, it has the denominational value Shilingi hamsini in Swahili. Next, it has the lettering for the board of directors in English. And, it also has the signatures of the governor of the Central Bank of Kenya and the board member. Next, It has an image of the head of an African buffalo, Syncerus Kaffir, in the denominational numeral 50 on the bottom right side of the note. The African buffalo is a member of the Big Five game animals, and its Swahili name is Nyati. In Africa, the Big Five game animals are the lion, leopard, rhinoceros, elephant, and African buffalo. The term was coined by big game hunters to refer to the 5 most difficult animals in Africa to hunt on foot, but is now more widely used by game viewing tourists and safari tour operators. They are examples of charismatic megafauna, featuring prominently in popular culture, and are among the most famous of Africa's large animals. The African buffalo, Syncerus Kaffir, is a large horned bovid. It is the only animal among the Big Five that is not on the endangered or threatened list. The Cape buffalo, Syncerus kaffir, is considered by many to be the most dangerous of any of the Big Five. Buffaloes have reportedly been known to ambush and attack humans. Next, it has asymmetrical serial numbers in English, in which the asymmetrical serial numbering style has progressively larger digits in adjacent positions. The serial numbers are printed vertically in red fluorescent ink on the left side of the note, and printed horizontally in black magnetic ink on the right side of the note. And next, it has microtext in lettering BKYK and CBK in Swahili and English language, in lettering Banki Kuu ya Kenya and Central Bank of Kenya in Swahili and English language, and in lettering 50 shillings in English language. The note also consists of features for helping the visually impaired to distinguish the denomination, which are as follows. It has tactile features, which are the one single intaglio stripes on the left and right edges, and the lettering Kenya at the center, and the lower right denominational value 50 on the obverse side of the banknote. Now let us discuss the reverse side of the banknote. When the note is observed from the left to right side, we can see that it has a denominational numeral 50 in English on the bottom left corner and the top right corner of the note. Next, it has the text Banki Kuu ya Kenya in Swahili language, and below the text, it has the text Central Bank of Kenya in English language. Next, it has the Central Bank of Kenya monogram with the text CBK and a flying dove with olive branch to symbolize a peaceful Kenya, as a see-through registration, which can be seen on both sides of the note. Next, it has the golden band which shows the value of the banknote 50. It can be seen when the note is tilted, and is also visible under ultraviolet UV light. Next, at the center, it features the picture based on green energy theme, which consists of wind power, geothermal power, and solar power. It highlights Kenya's commitment to renewable energy by featuring wind, geothermal, and solar power generation. Kenya is endowed with enormous potential and resources for production of clean energy. Kenya strives for a cleaner world. The wind power photo is of the wind power station at Lake Turkana Wind Power, LTWP, station, located in Loyangalani, Marsabit County, Kenya. The LTWP is the largest wind farm in Kenya, and one of the biggest wind farms in Africa, and is a significant contributor to the country's green energy initiative. The geothermal power photo is of the Olkaria 1 geothermal power station, located within the Hell's Gate National Park in Kenya's Rift Valley. Olkaria is a major site for Kenya's significant geothermal energy production efforts. Geothermal electricity production at Olkaria has made Kenya a global leader in green energy production. The solar power photo is widely associated with the Garissa Solar Power Station in northeastern Kenya. The power station is located in Garissa County, approximately 14 kilometers, 9 miles, north of the town of Garissa, which is about 385 kilometers northeast of Nairobi. It is the largest grid-connected solar power plant in East and Central Africa. The plant has a capacity of 55 megawatts and covers an area of 85 hectares. It was developed by the Kenya Rural Electrification Authority, which is known as Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, REREC. Next, it has the lettering wind power nguvu ya upepo in English and Swahili on the photo depicting wind power, and it has the lettering geothermal power kawi ya mvuki in English and Swahili on the photo depicting geothermal power, and it has the lettering solar power nguvu ya jua in English and Swahili on the photo depicting solar power. Next, it has the denominational value 50 shillings in English. Next, below the lettering, it has the denominational value shilingi hamsini in Swahili. Next, it has an image of a flying dove with olive branch to symbolize a peaceful Kenya, with denominational numeral 50 on its bottom left and top right side. Next, it has a windowed security thread, which has the letters CBK and the numeral 50 in an alternating pattern. And next, it has micro text in lettering shilingi hamsini in Swahili language. Here, we reach the end of this video. Hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you soon. Goodbye.